How many spirits are here in the room with me? It's got connected to a doll. So you decided to come out because it's nearly come to Halloween, is that correct? Is that why are you being moving the doll lately? Hey guys, welcome back. No, you're not touching a flickery camera, I'm talking to you. Got a boot up here, so when I hear an EVP section, I'm gonna use it. So come on, Spirit. Somebody's seen you move the doll. So that means you're here. Prove everyone that you're here. Step away from the camera. I know you like cameras so much and you like jewelry. Right. Let's see. I'm going to turn this on. And it's been on for 6 minutes. So let's see if we do get anything. So let me just turn on my Bluetooth. There you go.
Then he spreads time by the door where the dog can see him.
Hi, Rocca.
The dog's watching your every move. We know you're here. So give me an email, please, if you're hiding somewhere that the dog can see you. Prove that you're here. Did you make the dog cry? Did she saw you? You know you're here. If there's someone here in this room, please speak up.
Whoa,
Not just
he's behind me.
darkness.
So you just said he was
Not
behind
in
me
a
then.
quiet voice.
I just heard the spirit said behind you.
If you want to be here, you better tell me who you are. And if we have spoken the spiritual realm, and if we have contact, how many years today do you think I can get contact again in the spirit realm?
$10 years. 10 years.
We got a connection with the doll.
Whoa!
Does it remind you of something?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That spirit I caught on there has a connection to that bloody doll that is on my bed. And I asked her, do you have a connection with the doll? And he just said, yes, I do. So it's a connection to the doll. It sounds like a young man, but it's like a young man. And they just said it on this EP device I just caught. That he's whispering, and I can hear him saying yes, he has connection with that doll. And I just realized I go on here on Bluetooth and I recorded it in my own room, and I'm like, caught it, literally caught this. Let's see. Because it's on for 6 minutes. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? There, shut. Whoa, that was sound deep then.
So come on, Spirit. You want to talk? Let's talk. I know you're here. Standing in the doors looking at you. By the door. This doll is looking. Where your legs walk. You see, you keep going on. Pinky, ready.
Trying to work out what it's saying because it's something to do with it. I've seen this spirit before, and I did sketch it the other day, and I don't know if I seen it in a form. And it was like a real face form. And it was behind my big mirror that I caught it on. And I caught a face of a man.
Spirits are here in the room with me. Go connected to a doll.
There's four spirits have connections with that doll. 4. I can hear 4 because he's whispering and it's
So you
4.
decided to come out because it's nearly come to Halloween, is that correct? Is that why have you been moving the doll lately?
And yesterday, when I went to bed, I had a little kid giggle. So there's a little child as well. There's 4 spirits in the household.
No, you're not touching the flickery camera. I'm talking to you. I've got a boot up here, so when I hear an EVP section, I'm going to do that. Come on, Spirit.
Wow. Like, literally, wow. I caught it just in time when I realized that there was a spirit in the room with me, and I realized there's like 4 of them have connections to that doll. And I never noticed this, but like I normally take an infrared camera, but I don't have it in my room because it's in the round box somewhere. But the funniest part was that spirit just come forward, and the initials were different. Yesterday, on EP2,
Okay, Spirit.
I heard a little kid giggle.
It's not shown. It's not Erica. think. Speak up louder.
Like, it was funny because there was like a late kid giggle while my first EP. It was on my first EP in this room, and you can hear a kid giggling, goes yeah, like laughing, and it was like about the time it was. It's just about midnight on the 25th, and which is today, the 25th. Every 25th day of September, it records every EP that I had in here. Now, like I said, there's 4 connections to the doll, which is 4. So there's 4 spirits controlling the doll. So I think there is a male present because he knows the doll, and I worked it out. It was a male in the household, and I worked it out. There was like a lost soul, like a young male looking for something they used to have, and it's the doll, and he said he used to have it as well. So like he said on repeat he used to have this doll, and it's kind of weird lately when the spirit said he's got a connection with that doll, which is a baby doll that my grandmother in a nursing home, my nan, my mom's mom, she had it when she was little, and then my nan told me she found it in a charity shop. She said, I don't know if the doll's haunted or not because it doesn't go to sleep, but that doll does. Because what I do, that's for the spirits to activate with that doll. It's but it sounds like a male because it's male around this room. There's 4 different households, so I know there's kind of I think this male. I seen a face on the mirror, and there was 2 young men, 2 young boys, and a female involved. So there was a young mother trying to come through the mirror as I took the photo, and I said, "Show me your face in the reflection." And there was this tall gentleman, very tall, not polite, not very persuasive. But the other young man, I think it's her son, but he was smiling, very polite, very respect. She tried to come through the one day. I think I was using a spirit box, and I said, "Who's the woman that I drew of a young woman, like a young witch, like in the 1930s or 1960s?" She said it was her, and I said, "What is your name?" "Gwyndor." So Gwyndor is Gwyndor, the Welsh witch in our lands. And she said she did know Gwyndor's ancestors, knows my pirate history. So like I'm half pirate in my spiritual realm. In my Roberts family, there was a proper pirate of my ancestors. So then when I realized I knew there was a pirate situation and it was in the wartime, it was kind of creepy at the time, but like it was like kind of creepy when you realize that when someone else says to you, have you got a connection to a doll, and you got loads of teddies or dolls or objects. I think with dolls and objects, there is an object, because I think Stranger Things knows in the paranormal world that he's been going on adventures. I've been to the Spirit Inn, and I think I did connect with a child playing around, liked to play, and it was jumping like when I went to the Spirit Inn. But I felt like I couldn't breathe because when I went to the Skirtin for the ghost hunt with my Auntie Jane, my auntie and I went ghost hunting. My dad was asleep in the car, so we went to Skirtin. And it was like some dark shadow literally come in, and all you could see, like, you feel like someone's right behind you and standing right behind you, and like you enter to a courtroom, and then you like there was a sadness. There was a sadness, and I know it was. As we were go upstairs, the sadness. The judge room was right next to the bed and everything, and there was like a courtroom, and there's a bathroom next to it. And I asked one of the medium who told me, he said there was a woman who died in the bath, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, she committed suicide in the bath in jail. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of creepy. And there was like an old lady who died in the property as well, in the Skirtin as well. And there was like all the families who died in the Skirtin. A lot of children, a lot of wives, a lot of men. And I think what it was the evil judge that we connected to. And he kept talking into the spirit box. And he was like, when I went to the paranormal myself, I've been experiencing paranormal myself, is he was saying a girl with ginger hair. And like, it reminded me that there was a young girl in the spiritual realm looked like me. And I think he did say when we went to Skirtin, like the spirit box said, the judge said he done something in court in front of the jail cells and stuff to kids and women. And I know Stranger Things would think that. And that one word that I told him about in my past. And it shook me, and I went, oh God, no, I know what this is. I know what this means. Like, and he was just, I said, can you leave the children alone and leave them alone? And the judge didn't like it because I was talking back. I said, just leave them in a happy place. They want to be happy. They want to reunite with their family. So the judge wouldn't let me help the spiritual children to go to the light. He would not let them one bit, and I had to, like, me and my auntie. But I did use one thing to contact my nan and all that. And that was a Ouija board I did we were all together, all of us were all together in the group. We did in the group, each group that we had connections with our ancestors. And when a spirit doesn't manipulate you, but you know in your mind, the back of your mind, you know it was your nan or grandfather coming through. And on the good side of the brain, this side, it was my nan. On the other side, and I said, is there any spirits here with us on the Ouija board? Please let me know if you're still here with us. And it went straight to yes. And I said to my auntie, and the spirit box was on, and I asked the question. The spirit box was off, and then I asked the question. I said, who's behind me, my soul, and my mind? And it put a K, so like a K for like king for short. It was my grandmother on the other side contacted me, and she's like, she moved the Ouija board. She wanted to connect with me. She wanted to see how I am, like, and everything at that time when I was like, and I said to Auntie Jane, we did contact my grandmother, so it was lucky it was my grandmother and her Auntie Jane's dad's father, my great grandfather, in the Thomas family. It was her grandfather. So they were like, are you okay if I'm going on holiday with Auntie Jane or anything like that? And they was like, yeah, fair enough. When we did a seance, we said goodbye to them. I was lifted. I know she was with me all this time. Like, I was lifted because my Nana Kim was there. and I knew she was coming with us. So I knew there was good spirits for us. We went to the skating. I think the next location, hopefully, I want to go to is with hospital bandings and stuff, like with the hospitals with kids in the war. Probably the pit disaster. Probably they might go there, and we might go to the top of the mountain where I live, right to the top of the mountain. There is a old haunted old farmhouse, proper old, and a lot of people say in the history of fact of it, there was a lot of people saying that there was a family in the old farmhouse as well, and it like literally where over here, like over my street behind you, there is like right at the top of a mountain. There's an old witch cottage, but it's burned down. There's an old witch house on the property as well. And then on the upside of the village, right at the top, there is an old kin owned the lands as well, like a kin on Kingdom of the Lands. So there's like quite a few mysteries that me and my auntie want to do together. But like I've been a panel investigator myself. I've been sketching spirits, seeing them a few times. I have seen a few of them, but I don't normally see it like broad day, like in darkness. I see them at daylight, like 4 or 5 o'clock, and I see them like walking past my garden and stuff. But that's how I notice. That's how I see things. But whenever I see things, hello Rocker, how are you, darling? Like I see them as equally, not as like proper form. Now I did see one proper form, and it was like a young witch in my house. It was standing behind the landing. My parents wasn't with me at the time. My mum went to see her mother in the nursing home. My dad was out at the time. I was all on my own in the house. And this young witch, she was pretty witch, like very pretty young lady, like very, like really old times. And I'm looking at her and she's looking at me. And I'm thinking, she was wearing a long dress, like an old vintage dresses, you know, like witches' dresses, like in Salem and stuff. It's like one of those dresses. She looked at me and I looked at her and I'm thinking, why are you looking at me? And I'm thinking, why you got a connection with me? And she looks at me and says, because you do. In the back of my mind, when I seen it like that, I knew what was going round. I know what was difficult and stuff. It was like, that's why I say is I never forget that paranormal experience that I ever done. I've been to Cardiff Mansion House in Cardiff with my dad. We did lovely paranormals together, me and my dad have. But I think after this when this is full lockdown all done, I will like somebody to come with us and to do paranormal adventures with me and with my family. Now, my auntie, when me and my dad went to a few places in the panel, we've been to Laia Carval. It's called Laia Carval. It's a lovely haunted house. And it was like really freaky and stuff. Me and my dad went on our own to go to Laia Carval the one time in the car. And we were driving there to Laia Carval, and as we finished our ghostly ghostly history, we got in the car, driving on the motorway, and all of a sudden we hear like a bell, like a ting. We heard a bell in the car. So my dad turns off the radio, and there was 2 bells warnings telling us something And lucky it did. It warned us. The spirit warned us in the car something bad was coming. And there was a fast car driving on a motorway up to our street. And the car nearly hit on my side of the door. Like, my side. And it hit on my side of the door, knocked my neck onto the belt. The belt tied around my neck. I had a whiplash in the car, like a really bad whiplash in the car. Bruises, my back, and it was like really like felt like a car crash hit into me. But lucky I was still alive with my dad. The other driver didn't realize I was disabled, and he was driving on the motor. He was on the speed limit, and when my dad and I got back home, and then all of a sudden the spirit's gone to bring us back home, and it's gone. So then I get upset, and my dad wanted to go after the boy. It was in the past, this was. And my dad wanted to go after him. My dad wanted to go nuts. And I was like, no, Dad, don't start, because his girlfriend's there. You know what happened last time with your heart condition. And so then years went by. My friend Ben looked at my neck and asked me the next day, am I okay? And everything. I was like, I've been nearly in a crash. And everyone was like, Jesus Christ, your neck and everything. I had to show him what happened in the car. And my friend Ben said, you were lucky you still survived. You'd lucky you would have been gone and I would have lost you. And that's what my friend says to me. It's not just because you lost people in a crash. You got to protect a child in the car or anything. Like, I think, like, in the panel experience that I've been into, it's not just because I was the coolest paranormal investigator. I literally, don't get me wrong, I do draw my dog in spirit. She's home, she's safe, my dog's here in spirit, she's catching up to my other dog. I think what it is, Pickle's seen another dog in spirit and she realized it was Lady, but she's gone to bed. My dog she's in bed downstairs. I think she's really quiet now because Lady, my old dog, she was a white Westie. And she's downstairs coaching her. Hopefully. But this doll does have connections with spirits. And I think this person, whoever it is, it's a male, and I know it's a male because this person used to have that doll before me. And I think my mom said my mom knew about this house before me. Before I was born, it was my grandmother's house. This needs to be my grandmother's. This is my grandma's house. It's all in my nanakin's name. It's my nan's nan. My nan's mother. Like, but I still feel a connection with this man. It's like my mom, she still feels her son in spirit in the other side. And he said, where's mom? Where's mom? That's my mom's son. When I did contact with my Uncle Neil in spirit, he said, hello, Mom. I did it to my mom in front of her on the spirit box. And I used it in front of her the one day. I was drawing my Nana Kin. I said, where am I going today? My nan's thinking, I said, I'm drawing the beach now. So I started drawing the beach and the sea and all that. I start sketching it all. And the spirit box comes on. And you hear, hi, Mom. My mom said, who said that? I said, I didn't say it. And he said it again. Hi, Mom. It's me. Neil. Your son. She got emotional. And then you hear my grandmother come in there. My grandmother, my Nana Kin, I was lost when I was 5 years old. 5 years old. And I hear my grandma. I said, Grandma. I said to my nana again, Nana, where am I going? She said, you're going to Barry Island, didn't you? I said, what? You're going to Barry Island? I said, Mum, did you and Nan used to go to Barry Island at the time when I was born? She said, yeah, every year. Every year that my nana used to go to beaches and stuff, she used to go to Barry Island a lot when my age. And I was like, she loved, the only drink she loved, right? This is no joke. The only drink my nan loved was a whiskey. Now, whiskey, I never drink, and then every year I'll probably be drinking whiskey for Christmas in her memory. So then my partners decided and say, why don't we, when this is all over, we go down and visit Grandma's grave? And I said to him, it would be nice to go and visit for a change, for her memory. And that's why I did, and I thought with him, and when I got married, when I do get married, I'm going to be wearing my grandma's jewelry of her memory, because she's like always been there for me now. Like every step of the way when I was born, she was holding me and stuff. There's old photos of my grandmother. But I call her Nan because she was my Nan as well in spirit. And I was like, Nana, but I always call her Nanakin because that's how I used to say it. I used to visit her a lot in the nursing home when I was my younger days, but I think now she knows that I'm about to be married, and she knows that is you gotta take a lot of commitments, you gotta take a lot of portions, and you gotta take a lot of your lifeline and be with this man for the rest of your life. You can be strong like I have. And every step of the way that I've been strong, all because of my nan. And no matter what, my nan always says this to me, right, is it would be nice if she would have been alive again. She would have come and seen me at the wedding. She would have sat down and have a good laugh and have a good whiskey, and my grandfather would have been there, and my great-grandfather would have been there, no matter what. It's all about being yourself. And that's how I grew up with the paranormal when she passed. And that's how I realized then when I was really upset is when she died. When I was 5 years old, I was angry. I was in pain. At that young age, I was thinking, I better let her go because she's with her husband on the other side, which is my mom's father. They were married, right? They were absolutely in love. They were literally, my grandfather loved her and she loved him no matter what. And like my dad said, is if both my grandparents were alive, they would have seen me as their granddaughter and seen me growing up. They would have seen me so special. They never wrecked me. They would never disown me. Nothing. My grandfather would spoil me. That's my father say. Your grandfather would spoil you rotten. I'm like, how do you know? He said he would have. And I'm like, so you tell me if my grandfather would have been alive today, he was spoiling me rotten? And he says, yep, he always have done. That's how I noticed I get spoiled a lot, because my grandfather, and even though my mom's father was in the war as well, he'd been to a war. And then all my ancestors who'd been to a war, and some of them were in the pit disaster and that, then we realized that we had all family bloodline. For this Christmas, I will tell you honest, is I will be strong with everyone on StreamYard or on another app, which is Zoom. Like my mom said, I can have some whiskey with everybody if anyone's doing anything on Christmas and stuff, or on Halloween, that I don't have to be on my own on Christmas on call. So then I'd be in a group call and stuff and everything else. Like, that's what I thought about. And that's when I realized my dad and I, my mom turned around to me, this is funny, right? I know Stranger Things thinks this funny, right? So Stranger Things watched this. Rocker sent us to Stranger Things. I'm gonna, Stranger Things, you're gonna laugh at my mom said yesterday, right? I said, what happened to the Christmas spirit for the grandkids, right? And my mom goes to me, she goes, I'm not putting any Christmas tree or anything up or anything like that, right? So I turned to my mom and said, well, you sound like Mr. Scrooge then, didn't you? Yeah, I am. I said, well, don't. I said, you got grandkids all the freaking road. Like, all the grandkids all the road. I said, you can't be mad at that because you got grandkids all the road. They love Christmas like we normally do. I think that I would like to meet people one day. I'd like to meet people one day as a person as equally and as a person as a nice person. And I realize that I want to do that. I want to do that for a reason. I want to do that for fun. I want to have a laugh. I want to have a joke with people. Because that's what I do, for a joke and a laugh, because that's what things should do. It's not all about you and personal ways. It's all about being connected to everyone, or being connected to everyone that you can be, or anyone you can be heard. You just be you, because that's you, and you just be yourself. Like, you gotta be you in that way, in that circulation. You go think who you want to be with, or you think you want to be with somebody that you got great personality with, you got a great connection with. That's what you gotta do. You gotta do it for some point. You gotta do it for a lifeline. Anything like that. You gotta do it for a lifeline because you gotta do it for you. You gotta do it for you because you know how to handle things. You gotta do it for everybody that you love. You gotta do it for everybody that you've been there for, or been there for somebody. You actually gotta be there for somebody. You actually gonna be there. You gotta be there for somebody that you wanna be to anyone, really. Like, you just gotta be you. You need to have a drink, a Chucky drink. But you cheeky sod rocker! You cheeky sod rocker! What am I gonna do without you, man? Hey? What am I gonna do without you, Rocker? Hey? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do without you, bud? Hey. Now you're telling me to just do something. Rocker, mate, you fucking crack me. You fucking crack me. End of the day, yeah, Rock. I mean, you need to have a good drink, mate. So anyway, everybody's having a good day then. Everyone's been really quiet. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Where's Kayla? By the way, where's my girl Kayla gone? Where's Scotty, the pain in the ass? Where's everybody's walker? Where are they? Where are they, bro? I bet you they're gone to bed. I bet you we'll be on tomorrow. Hey, Rocker. Should we move on Call of Duty? Or should we give him everything? Should we, Rocker? Should we, bro? Should we do it? Should we? I think we should. I'm gonna end this and then leave some nice comments, guys.